Hey guys, welcome back to another Super Metal Brothers video. This one we are talking about the most expensive guitars ever sold at an auction. Generally, I guess it would be the most expensive guitars ever sold because really, I mean, where else would they? No shop in the right mind like Holden Hill Music or your Derringers are going to sell a $3 million guitar or anything over $3 grand. They know their market. Most of them are aspiring musicians, and as we know, Danny, all aspiring musicians are broke.
Not just aspiring musicians. I think musicians in general are broke.
Oh yeah, there's some guy like who does the soundtrack for the next Disney movie and stuff like that. I don't like to consider them so much a musician as someone who's getting paid. And whatever lucky person you are in the world to write a song that gets played and people listen to it is quite a way to go, Dan. And to receive monetary value for your time and energy, Who would have thought?
Why should we pay for? You love music. Should we pay by the experience only?
Speaking about experience, well, I'm telling you, the people who bought these guitars must have a lot of experience making money, because some of these guitars are incredibly ridiculous.
Yeah, they're not musicians. If you fall to part way this much money to buy a guitar, you're not a musician, man.
Oh, without further ado, let's head it off with number 10, with the Brownie Stratocaster. Some people know it as the Layla guitar.
Nice.
Danny, Eric Clapton, spoiler alert, is going to appear a lot on this list of these guitars. What do we think of the Eric Clapton's playing? I know as a person, some of the comments he's made about the metal community are quite rude and frankly quite unmetal. But what's the deal with this Eric Clapton guy?
Yeah, he's not bad. He was in Cream. They were a decent band. I think, who came from Cream? Oh, I can't remember. All these big musicians came from that band. He loves his bends, so you're probably going to have like a lot of wear marks in the frets, probably like little scallops forming there, so you got to get used to that.
Well, this thing looks pretty weathered. I mean, it actually looks used, so spending a lot of money for it is a bewilderment. Nevertheless, this one did go for a cool $450,000.
He's probably all American money as well. So that's like what, $650 Australian? That's ridiculous.
I think after that, we just can't talk about it too much.
You can't even live in that guitar. How can you live in that guitar?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? The case is probably going to be more of a help for you because you're going to be so broke after spending money on it.
Actually, also, if you're a Layla fan, Godfellas, they actually play Layla Part 2 when they start finding all the corpses and stuff everywhere. So if you're like Goodfellas and guitar guys, like pretty much you, Matt, that's a guitar for you, man.
Nonetheless, we have another guitar to talk about. And coming in at number 9, it is the Goldie Stratocaster. Again, Eric Clapton. $455,000 dues, Danny. It's much like, it looks less used than the previous guitar. So there's your extra $5,000 straight off the bat. I mean, you've got your maple neck, obviously, which looks incredibly not used.
Even there's no chips like the other guitar. The scratch plate looks brand new. I think even the volume's on 0, which means...
Yeah, well, that's right. He's even flicked it to the bridge pickup, which for all those, it's best for metal.
Interesting.
No one needs a neck pickup in metal. You just don't need it. This apparently, according to Eric Clapton, he wanted to hang this in a museum, but never would happen. He used it on the '97 Legends tour and again in 2001, and then it was sold to Christie's auction house. Congratulations, Christie, on your new purchase. 455 could have done for more renovations. Maybe we should start a Patreon. They could be giving us that money. Maybe it's our fault, Danny, that people are spending their money on these guitars.
Eric Clapton's got to be careful because normally like prices they increase because the artist is like got a carcass soon. So he's got to be careful like what he drinks because those guitars are going to probably triple, quadruple in value if he passes on. So.
It just shows the people that listen to his music have more sense than dollars. No, more dollars than cents, sorry. I have more sense than... No, I have more dollars than cents as well. And I'm broke. So there you go. Number 8, Danny. Coming in at number 8, we have the Gibson SG. This is classic guitar. I remember having a rip-off version of this because obviously I was a metalhead and still am. This here is a lovely piece of beautiful red, rose color, black scratch plate. Lovely, I don't know what kind of fretboard work we got going on there. Some diamond, maybe, who knows. Well, for $570,000, you'd like to think so. This is used by both George Harrison and John Lennon between 1966 and 1969.
Well, there you go. So again, the whole thing about Eric Clapton dying, you gotta be careful. This guitar might be a bad omen. But how nice that case, man? That's like what, alligator skin, crocodile skin?
Oh, at least one animal was died in the making of this album. I mean, / guitar case. Even the strap is leather as well. So I'm guessing all the animal was used in making of this fine accessories for it. You got the whammy bar as well on board. Obviously, you'd want it if you're spending $570,000 for it.
Why was your whammy bar? When did like the Beatles ever use a whammy bar? Is that like a solo? We don't know. Like in the spare time, George Harrison was just like an epic solos or something.
Well, it's a nice piece of furniture because you're not going to play it. Let's be honest. It's going to sit there and you're going to look at it and go, "Wow, it's $570,000." Kids don't have to go to school anyway, right? Why would you want them to graduate?
Increase in value
because you've got that. Well, absolutely. I mean, until they find a way of cloning these legendary Beatles or Cream members, I mean, this is all you got, you know. In fact, you could have DNA samples on that neck, so maybe all of a sudden that thing will pay itself off.
Value going up.
Coming in at number 7, the Fender Strat. This is the Stevie Ray Vaughan. This guy here is known as a prodigy amongst blues heads, proving that white guys may not be able to jump, but they sure as hell can play. Not quite the Johnson level was Eric Johnson, where he was sold his soul to the devil.
Apparently.
This guy was just apparently rumored to literally wake up and then fall asleep with the guitar in his hands. A lot of people will say they've actually seen him with the guitar in his hand just passing out after doing some sort of practicing and stuff like that. So
is that legit? Is that?
Oh yeah, legit. Apparently, his guitar playing is like he would just wake up and go to bed and then still have the guitar in his hands. And as you can see by this weathered-looking guitar, this thing looks like it's been abused. This thing looks like it was left on the side of Elizabeth, and literally it became part of the traffic cones, and then it became part of the road, and then they dug it out of the ground, and here we go.
But that's like standard for like Stevie Ray Vaughan models. Are they like purposely made to look weathered, or they?
Well, they are, because eventually he plays it so much anyway that, you know, that it's going to look like that anyway in 3 weeks. So why not make it look cool? I guess.
But give him credit. He's got full control of his pick. He didn't even need a scratch plate. Look, SRV is still like pristine.
Well, he knows it's his as well, right? $623.
What?
$1,000 and $500 on top
I have
of that.
500. Oh, wow.
Because obviously that scratch plate, you know, that's where your extra 500 is going.
Right.
This was named Lenny after his wife, which is very, very nice. Stevie did die in a helicopter crash in 1990. Stevie's brother Jimmy donated the guitar, which was auctioned off and sold to Guitar Center. So if you would like to know where the Guitar Center is, so would we, because that place is sitting on a mint
Are
right
they all
now.
closed down, these guitar centers?
I imagine so, but if you want to recoup any of that money, I'm sure you could have that onto Thingo. But there it is, the Stevie Ray Vaughan guitar. Congratulations with the Fender Strat. Coming in number 6, our first acoustic guitar of the lot. It is
not even an electric acoustic, just a normal acoustic.
Yeah, there's no like, there's no plug-in into
Come
that.
on,
There's
man.
well, there you go. This is the Gibson. So this is a CF Martin. It is an Eric Clapton guitar. It is acoustic, and it is $791.5 thousand. He performed this at an MTV Unplugged set, so I'm sure it had Teaser of Heaven played on it, and a bunch of songs. Probably Layla as well, you know. This thing here, it's was auctioned off to raise money for the Crossroads Rehabilitation Center. Okay. I'm guessing there's a lot of drug users could have spent a lot of money on that guitar, but they refused to and spent it on drugs. I think it might have been worthwhile getting it on drugs, to be honest.
I reckon that guitar was full of drugs. That's why they sold for $700,000.
Obviously, there's a lot of white on there. That must be some sort of substance, you know, that you can be used for the ears and the mouth. Who knows?
Well, at least went to charity, so that's something.
Absolutely. This is an acoustic guitar, so, I mean, you can't even play metal on it. You can't even play, like, Metallica. Nothing else matters on it. Yeah. That's not even worth it, is it?
For $700,000.
$700,000 to play crappy Metallica
That's
songs.
more than $100,000 a string. What is going on here, people?
I don't know, but we aren't even
halfway. What is that?
We're just about to hit halfway, guys, and we have still got a lot more to talk about, but congratulations. It is a...
Clapton, man. Far
out. Yeah, I don't know. He must really resonate. I mean, Tears in Heaven is a good song. He got Layla as well. What other songs from Eric Clapton can we really comment on that's worth that much money?
Well, Cream had that song. Was it In That White Room with Black Curtains? White Room. I know that song.
White Room.
They have other songs. I just don't know them.
Well, we're going to get halfway. And what about we talk about some more Eric Clapton? That's right. It is a 1964 Gibson ES-335. This one here is a guitar used during the Yardbirds, Cream, Blind Faith, and John Mayall's Blues Breakers. Auction at Christie's in 2004. This is quite a lovely guitar. It is an electric again, thank God. This is one of those, has the F-holes in it as well. So it is a semi-acoustic, but generally with semi-acoustic, you still want to play it with this, like, some sort of amplification.
That's why it's worth more, because it's semi-acoustic. So they,
That's
they
right. This
actually-
is a hybrid. So
Technology.
this is a bastardized version. It obviously comes here with some other instructions about probably how to have a lobotomy or some sort of brain surgery after spending that much money on the guitar.
I like a screwdriver. It's like, is it how much is the guitar worth?
because that's 847.5.
And they got like a $2 screwdriver. What's the screwdriver they Jimmy open the guitar case?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
oh, we
right.
lost the keys.
It looks incredibly nice on the inside. That's really good. You got the string inlay in there, but that guitar there is very nice guitar. Is it worth 800 and whatever to 1,000? Well, that's up to the lovely people who bought it from Christie's or something. So there you go.
Seriously, Eric Clapton again? Is he like buying his own guitars way to like make his other guitars worth more? Is
Well,
this like some sort of pyramid scheme I don't know about?
You're happy to know, Dan, there is one more guitar with
Oh,
Eric Clapton to make the
gosh.
list. That is the Black Strat, the Eric Clapton. This is probably one of the most iconic guitar from Eric Clapton, and this is one of the most iconic Fender shape, Fender stylings. Normally it's the rosewood, but this one here's the black one with the white scratch plate, the maple fretwood. I've even got a guitar that looks like that, Danny. I was given to that on my 21st birthday, and when I realized that playing metal was my thing and spreading the word of Satan was my life goal and no longer jazz, because let's be honest, jazz players probably make about as much money probably that this was sold in their lifetime, you know what I mean? And this guitar was sold for a cool $959,000.
That'd be American.
Just under $1
Jeez.
million. It's a nice guitar though, it's it was bought 6 extra. I'm not too sure what's going on with it, but it's this one here was auctioned off to raise money for Crossroads Rehab Center as well.
Okay.
So that Crossroads Rehab Center must look more like the Sistine Chapel now than a plug and play place. But what do you think, Danny? With all that money going on,
Well, at least it went to charity, so I'm not too upset by that. But it's still, come on, man, $100,000, nearly $1 million for one guitar. I just don't. You can't live in that.
one is that though was like the Excalibur for metalheads, or no, for musicians, and like they would play it and they would write a number one hit.
It's like the
every time they would play it, you would guarantee to make money off of it. Man, then it might be worth that money.
It's like the Rosetta Stone of like instruments. Like,
I haven't heard much of
music.
Eric Clapton since that. I mean, this is his most iconic guitar, most of the best written songs, and it's his most expensive one. Whoa. Although, if I was playing something as sexy as that, I think I would be feeling pretty happy with myself anyway. I mean, it is a lovely looking guitar. Its simplicity almost screams out to you, but there are some big things about it, which I know playing that neck would be the most smoothest thing, like running a hot knife through butter. It is a lovely looking guitar, and I'm sure the action was done by someone who knows how to play their own guitar as well.
But it's just so much money. I mean, imagine if it doesn't work. Imagine you spend $1 million and it doesn't even work. It's like, oh shit, that's just literally just there as paperweight.
I don't know. Well, let's move on to another musician who hasn't appeared on this list, which actually is nice to say. Coming at number 3, it is a Washburn. It is Bob Marley's, and it was valued around $1.2 million. Apparently, Bob Marley didn't own many guitars, but the exact number isn't officially known, so it's filed one on the other internet.
Yeah, and that's a way for them to sell it for higher value. It's like, we find standings that Bob Marley had only 2 guitars. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
This
give
thing
me
here
$20.
is classified as a national treasure by the Jamaican government.
Wow.
And I reckon right next to that guitar is Usain Bolt in the next cabinet over. When they're going to retire him after he plays his football career, he will be locked up there. They probably like freeze his body and like perfect him closest enough to when he was at his finest peak of running. So he will die after that session, but it'll be worth it for the for the lols, right? So,
I thought that was like all painted on there, but that's just, I think, the reflection of its surroundings.
yeah,
So
it'd just be the reflection. It's
That's still
super
a nice
nice, super
looking guitar.
shiny, and it's doesn't come with a guitar case because obviously if you pay
doesn't come with
$1.2
guitar
million,
case. That's extra.
you do get these lovely satin curtains though with it, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
super lovely. But again, it is Jamaican property apparently.
It's
so.
like EA Sports where they it's all the downloadable content. You have to pay extra for.
That's
the guitar
right,
case.
exactly. Yeah, sure, there's 1.2, but would you like the case? That's a bonus extra.
That's like $600. Nah.
Number 2, and this one here, it will be known as, it's a lefty. So obviously, there's only one guy. He was playing Fender Strats. In order to be worth this much money, and this much money,
Oh, Jimmy!
is Jimmy. Oh, you son of a bitch! No, it wasn't the awesome movie Goodfellas. This one here is Jimi Hendrix guitar. It is a 1968 Fender Stratocaster, most famously played at Woodstock,
Well, there you
where
go.
your parents were getting high and meeting each other and other lifelong partners as well, probably. It is a lovely guitar. It was been paid $2 million for.
$2 million.
Paul Allen
Jeez.
apparently paid that much for it and placed it in the Experience Music Project in Seattle. I think Seattle now owns a couple of these most expensive guitars ever. that was Jimi Hendrix's hometown, which is the second best thing that came out of Seattle. Obviously, there's another
Sean
guitar.
Kemp.
I was going to say Jeff Loomis.
Oh, Jeff
But
Loomis.
yeah, Sean Kemp was cool. Gary Payne, but they would only play for the Seahawks. I don't even know if they were born from there.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
It's a lovely guitar. Yeah, it is incredibly striking. The ivory body, obviously maple neck, and that white scratch plate looks very, very nice. And obviously, it was set on fire at one point, and now it's back to life because Jimi Hendrix was magic.
Yeah, so that's actually a right-handed, left-handed guitar. Isn't it a right-handed one?
It's a right-handed, yeah, but wasn't he a lefty?
Yeah, but
he played it wrong because he wanted to defy convention or something. Yeah, bullshit. He did, because obviously people are paying a lot of money for his stuff, so he would be interested to know. That's pretty crazy.
I thought he set that one on fire, the one in Woodstock.
Yeah, maybe he did. Well, at least his efforts weren't in vain. I mean, that dying on the... No, he didn't die in the toilet. That was Elvis, right?
Yeah.
But there you go. His stuff's worth something
Well,
now.
there you go. $2 million.
That is only the second most second most expensive guitar ever. The first one...
Number one. Drum roll.
It's signed by many guitarists.
Oh.
And some aren't even. It is the Reach Out to Asia Stratocaster. So the Fender Stratocaster does appear on this list a few times. Is it as much as Eric Clapton? I'm not too sure. But this one here was to raise money for the relief efforts in 2004 when the tsunami hit.
Oh, sweet.
So that was very, very lovely. It was auctioned off, and it wasn't signed by just one, not two, but lots of people. And I'm going to read through the list because you guys want to know. Obviously, Eric Clapton signed it. Because if he wasn't on there, this thing would have depreciated by at least $2 million.
I reckon that's half the money there.
Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, Ronnie Wood, Brian May, David Gilmour, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, Mark Knopfler, Pete Townsend, Tony Iommi, Angus Young, a boy from Australia. That is impressive. Malcolm Young, Sting, members of Def Leppard, Bryan Adams, Liam Gallagher, Paul McCartney. But the one main reason why this guitar is so expensive, Danny, is our boy, the one who appeared on the most influential albums of all time, that being Deep Purple and Rainbow, our boy Ritchie Blackmore. He's the only reason this guitar is worth that much.
That's awesome. I'm glad he got to sign it. That's fair enough. Was Jimmy Page on there?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he was. Yes, Jimmy Page, obviously. So that's the problem. Now, if you don't know who Rainbow or Deep Purple are, then what happens is your parents will bring you up wrong, and they're probably getting you into Led Zeppelin, and that is the inferior brand. You know, much like the Kmart brand to the Nike. Let's say this here is he's a god amongst men. You know, he's a guy that inspired so many great guitarists, and he will continue to inspire so much more. One of the best heavy metal songs of all time, Danny.
Stargazer.
Thank you very much. This thing did raise $2.7 million.
Amazing.
Almost $3 million. So all those Asians, enjoy your luxurious lifestyle after that tsunami hit, because, you know, you guys deserved it, because that was very tragic.
It was terrible.
But this guitar has sold. It is quite lovely. You do have that grey headstock, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
The black tinted neck, the neck on it, which is very unique as well. Obviously, you usually have the wooden styles on these guitars, but that has black. And obviously the striking hardware as well on it. It looks quite nice. It would never... I would imagine this thing would never get played, or be paid for ever again. But congratulations. There's a lot of signatures on that. And the most very expensive guitar.
There's a couple of room hogs in there as well, man. Like that top left corner of that guitar, you got some guys who decide to take a lot of real estate up there. So
Yeah. The bigger the real estate, the more money they were supposed to make.
Yeah, maybe.
So with Eric Clapton's like you can start on the top left here.
Yeah,
guys from Def Leppard with that little corner there for you.
They didn't even individually say their names. They just said the Def Leppard guys.
Exactly.
Everybody else gets individually named, so that's a bit harsh.
I think it was the drummer with the one hand. That's the guy that everyone remembers from the band, right?
Yeah,
that's right. Nevertheless, you know, there's our top list, guys. I hope you enjoyed the trip through expensive guitars bought by people who aren't musicians. I'd imagine guys from Google and that, or like I said, a lot of museums own this kind of stuff now as well. So congratulations, enjoy it. I'm sure we can go there one day and enjoy it for free.
They were just fortunate that when Pete Townsend was giving that guitar, he just didn't smash it. He said, no, Pete, don't smash this one. Sign. Sign. Yeah, so I was lucky.
So if you guys want to let us know in the comments what your favorite guitar is, or maybe if they paid not enough for it or too much, we have to let us know. I'm sure we'll enjoy reading your comments. They always give us a buzz. But until then, I'm Super Metal Brother Matt.
And I'm Super Metal Brother Dane.
We are the Super Metal Brothers. Thank you guys so much for watching us, and we'll catch you in the next video.